You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
Hurricane season is upon us. Did you know insurance companies can issue moratoriums that prevent you from securing coverage when there's an impending storm? Homeowners, business owners, property owners, act now. Don't let your coverage leave you out in the rain. The licensed professionals at the Burns Agency are here to help. Call, email, or chat with us online today. Don't let the next natural disaster become an insurance disaster. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
Hey, I'm Jess, but you can call me the Tire Queen. For the best deals on tires, come and see me at Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. Call me at 860-376-8687. But definitely don't talk to my dad. He's definitely not the Tire King.
And right now, Jess the Tire Queen has great deals and excellent service waiting for you at Advanced Automotive, Route 138 Griswold.
Hello, I'm Miranda Mahoney, Project Coordinator of Grizzled Pride, your drug-free community coalition. We want to help you keep your kids safe during this challenging time. Social distancing is still in effect, and so is the social host law. Reports are coming in that teens are contracting the virus at underage drinking parties. Parents, allowing underage drinking on your property could land you in jail for up to a year, plus fines. Another reason why you should not provide alcohol to our youth. For more info, go to grizzledpride.org. grizzledpride.org. grizzledpride.org.
Hi, this is Alan Gear. You may know me as Mr. Jewett City. I want to tell you about my experience with our local eye doctor, Dr. Joel Zuckerbrun. I recently had cataract surgery, and I was told that I needed new glasses. I didn't know what to do because the problem was this was right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Where the heck was I going to get glasses? I checked places that make glasses. I looked online, and what I found was my solution was practically in my own backyard. So I called Dr. Z, as most people know him. His office is right on North Main Street, right here in the borough of Jewett City. I went to my appointment and had my glasses faster than I would have thought possible. Call Dr. Zuckerbrun at 376-2848. I trust Dr. Z with my eyesight, and you should too. Make an appointment today.
Life is full of choices. At Jewett City Savings Bank, we can make one choice easy, finding the right checking account. We offer a range of affordable accounts to fit your budget and needs, and each gives you the freedom to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you, stop by one of our offices or visit us at jcsbank.com. Jewett City Savings Bank, member FDIC.
All right, it's time to take a look at the weather forecast for Eastern Connecticut, and here he is. It's Paul Ash.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, the weather for Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy. Highs will be around 77 degrees. For Sunday night, mostly clear skies, lows around 65. For your Saturday, well, it's going to be mostly cloudy. Highs around 75 degrees. And for Saturday night, partly cloudy with more clouds, lows around 61. And of course, let's get back to today. Right now, the temperature downtown Jewett City is 71 degrees. For today, sunshine to start, then afternoon clouds, stray shower, thunderstorm possible. Highs will be around 91. And that's your weather on this Upside Down Friday, 08/27/2021.
Okay, thumbs up, everybody.
Is it just me or do things seem weird today?
I don't know. And I love it, though. You know, the first thing, you see is upside down video, guys.
Wait, let's defy gravity. Ooh, magic.
You're upside down. Turn the camera. And people, I don't know if anybody they can't take a joke on a Friday morning. I'm not ready for this.
Maybe it's not us. Turn your cell phone upside down.
Yeah, turn your cell phone upside down. See what happens. You know what? Maybe that works. Hold on. It does. It does. If you turn your phone upside down, we're right side up. We're broadcasting live today from Melbourne, Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia. Good day, mate.
Good day.
Yeah.
Good day. I don't know.
Good evening.
Nobody has a sense of. All right, you know what? Let's not have a sense of humor. Let's just stare at the camera. Ready to go.
I just saw a kangaroo going down Main Street.
We're just gonna stare. Maybe that's what people want. We'll talk in a monotone voice.
Yeah.
We're not upside
By
down.
gravity.
We're not
That's right.
upside down. You are.
Boy.
Oh, I don't think people are ready for that. They're this type of entertainment on a Friday, Paul. I really don't.
Do we
What,
want
at 8 o'clock in the morning? You all should be awake and ready to go by
Yeah,
now.
do we want to flip
That's
it up?
right. Yeah. Huh?
Do we want to flip it back?
Yeah. I don't know.
Huh?
Yeah. Go ahead. People
Fine.
like yeah, upside down. Oh my god.
It hurts my brain.
Oh, up. All right. No, up a little more. Just a little bit more. All right, that's good.
All right.
Now you're crooked, though.
Oh.
You're crooked. You're a crooked little man who lives in a crooked little house. There you go. No, that way a little bit.
This way?
Just a touch, just a hair. No, the other way, Paul.
Your other left.
No.
Huh?
What the F?
Okay, let's test it.
No, turn it, point it up. A little more. All right. A little more. Okay, that's a little more.
Oh, dear God. We're going to spend the next hour fixing.
You know what's
the camera.
happening is the screw is
Yeah.
too good.
All right, hold on. All right.
Good?
Yeah, it's actually that way. A little bit. All right, good. Fine, leave it. All right, good. Hey!
Whoa! We're back.
So, Laura says, I think the heat's getting to you guys. No, there were people that were watching, and I think they were disgusted. They go like, oh, God, it's upside down.
I can't take this.
Oh, well, anyway, so much for that.
Yeah.
We thought it was fun.
We did.
Oh, what's this? Did you do that?
I was bored.
He spelled upside down. He spelled my name on a. That's actually pretty good, Chris.
I have mad skills.
I'll tell you, if you need anything done,
That's Chris.
ask Chris. He can do anything. When I say anything, he can do anything.
Anything.
Cunningham said, looked better the other way. All the blood was rushing to my head, though, man. It was kind of freaky.
It hurt.
Oh, so how are you guys doing today?
It's weekend.
Living the dream.
I don't think people realize you even did the weather backwards.
I don't know.
They didn't pick up on it.
No.
Yeah, Paul did the weather, and he did Sunday, Saturday, Friday instead of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, they didn't pick it up.
So good morning, Laura. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Christine. Another Kevin.
Kevin Kerrigan, Kevin Cunningham,
Cindy Briggs. All there on a Friday.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. So what I put as a title for today is thoughts on the events in Afghanistan.
Right.
Now, we don't usually tackle world news issues. We kind of stay away from it.
Right.
But Paul, you have some thoughts, I know, and of what you think.
Well, it's a shame.
You want to point the microphone,
Yeah, it's a shame that we lost.
No. Hold that. And then pull. Yeah.
It's a shame that we lost 13 people there.
Yeah.
But what they were doing was they were doing a job that needed to be done, checking, making sure that the paperwork that people had was right. It's unfortunate that I think there was one Navy guy that got killed too.
Yeah,
the Navy medic, I heard, but there were 13. So what do we do now?
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of ex-servicemen who fought over there are saying, let's get back in there and do something about it, How do you
apparently we're not.
Yeah, and do what? What are we going to do?
Well, the problem
Something
is
that we haven't tried in the last 20 years?
Well,
I'm saying 20 years there, and we just lost.
Exactly.
Well, the one thing I would do is I'd go in and blast all that equipment we left If they made a deal to give them the equipment that's there, and I fly over and bomb the hell out of it.
I'm sure there's a whole bunch of deals that were made.
Well, there's always deals that are made that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
What about you folks that are listening and watching in the room? Laura says it's very sad. It is very sad.
Yeah.
It's is this comparable to like a Vietnam?
Almost.
The only difference is people aren't hating on the soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very similar because that's exactly what's happening when we were leaving Vietnam. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
You know, you gotta raise the microphone
I know,
up because you're tall.
Yeah, we got it. There we
Got to
go.
raise the table up so he can get his legs underneath.
You know what? I do want to put there. I think this is still. I think it's a little too low.
A little too low inside of my kneecaps.
Chris gets whacked over there too.
Yeah. So.
I lean in.
Yeah. Oh, he's waiting for it. So Laura says it's very sad. Does anybody else have any comments? You know, as far as what's happening over in Afghanistan, and I think it's very sad.
Does anybody feel like we achieved anything?
No, I don't think we did.
Yeah.
I think now we're open to more terrorists coming into this country now.
So you think it's
they wanted us out of the. I think there could possibly something could happen on 9/11. It's 20th anniversary, so something could happen. I would be very cautious. I'm sure that they're going to keep their eye up and listen to all the chatter, but you know, I wonder what's going to happen on the 31st.
You know, what when we first went over there, what was our initial goal?
Well,
free the Taliban, get them out.
Right. And now the Taliban is bigger and badder than they ever were.
Well, not really the Taliban, ISIS is over
ISIS,
there too.
Yeah, same thing.
I mean, they're all buddy, let's face it. And why would you let the Taliban be our security? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
It's all part of the deals.
You know damn well that what must have happened is some guy said, hey, let me in. I'm going to go blow up a bunch of people. Yeah, go ahead. You know, I mean,
T says, when did we start negotiating with terrorists? Just because the Taliban takes office doesn't make them government officials. Yeah, since when did we care?
Yeah,
who is in office? You know, we wanted to go bomb the crap out of somebody. United States did.
Yeah,
right now,
go in and try and talk with the town clerk. Yeah.
Well, you know, they could.
Good point.
I mean, a lot of those Taliban head officials are all into into their office building or their capital, whatever the hell the building they're all in. They gonna blow the place up if they wanted to, but they won't. You know, it's a big screw up on our management part, that's for sure. People who ever came up with this.
Well, to me, it just seems that there's 20 years of a lot of people that have died, a lot of resources and cash and money that have been wasted.
Yeah. We have not lost a serviceman over there since 2020. That was the last one. I think there were 2. And now, bingo, here's 10. 13. And that's not counting the 60 or 70 Afghanistans that got killed too.
But do we turn around and send in another 10,000 troops for retribution for the 13 that lost their lives?
Well,
you know, are we just playing slinky, pulling out, going in, pulling out, going in? You know, what are we doing over there now?
Some kind of retaliation, though. Something should happen. I would just get a bunch of fighters and go in there and blow up all their equipment. We were going to give it to them. Blow it up. I mean, they had a freaking Taliban flying one of the helicopters on the freaking thing behind the cameras when they were filming yesterday. You know, they got all the drones. I mean, come on, they got everything. Blow it up. Was that our deal? Oh yeah. Well, guess what? You guys screwed up. So guess what? We're taking away our equipment.
Yeah. Well,
blow it up.
When you blow it up, you're going to take the lives of innocents.
Who do you think is manning that equipment?
Well, I'm sure there are innocent people over there that are being forced to man that equipment.
Sure?
So now you kill. Let's say they're not innocents.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the Taliban isn't going to say that there was innocence.
Of course they will.
And then they will turn around and commit another act of terror against our country.
It's going to happen anyway.
Yeah,
it's going to happen anyway. You can almost bet on it's going to happen again. Or any events you go to, not like we were back in 9/11. Same thing's going to happen. They're going to frisk you when you go in anywhere. Now, not that they don't do that, but they're going to be a little more cognizant.
Yeah, Patriot Act is going to...
Hey, something's going to happen now. It's going to happen. We're back to where we were just
20 years ago.
after 9/11. Exactly, because people miscalculated what they were going to do with this thing. They could have done it piecemeal, for Christ's sakes.
We achieved nothing in this.
achieved nothing. I mean, he wanted in the whole
Less
thing,
than nothing.
The whole thing,
Except for putting money into some people's pockets.
yeah, the whole thing was political because you wanted to make a big deal out of it. We got out of there by 9/11. That was the whole political thing behind it. It wasn't, to be a combat mission or get people out, the way you should have.
Right.
They could have done this, started doing this 6 months ago, 4 months ago, start bringing people out. They waited till 2 weeks? Come on, give me a break. But politicians trying to be combat officers. That's what it is. Politicians have no freaking clue.
No.
And half of them never even fought in a war.
I honestly believe.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to choke you.
No, that's okay. I honestly believe that
It's sitting upside down for a few
this
minutes.
had nothing to do with 9/11. It was all about money.
Money.
It really was.
Well, what are we going to get out of it? What's the money thing?
Well, understand that the politicians have interests in these companies that make helicopters and bombs.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going.
The military industrial complex. That's what it's called.
But the big thing was that the Afghanistan was a big holder of lithium for batteries, but apparently it's not. It's a bunch of crap.
Lithium?
Yeah, for batteries. So now China's going to have control of that. And my understanding is that's not true. That there are other countries besides that make that.
There are other countries that make that have lithium.
It's not. I don't think they were known for having that for batteries. The figures electric car industry, we're going down the tubes now. That ain't going to happen.
I am. The thing is we're sitting here talking and having a conversation of what we think we know.
Yeah, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
No, I know, but if you talk to a serviceman or woman that was or is over there.
They're not happy.
No, but I'm
at
sure
all.
they have a totally different perspective of what we're talking about.
Oh,
We're just playing Monday morning quarterback right here.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't really know the situation over there. We don't know what the conditions are, what our service people are going through.
Right.
It's really been a 20-year covert mission.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go into the rocks and the tunnels looking for the Taliban and Osama bin Laden.
Well, the Russians were there for how many years? The Russians were there before us.
Yeah.
And they were in there for years. You didn't hear a problem with them guys getting out of there.
Since the early 1900s, people have been trying to control Afghanistan, and nobody's.
So, they were able to get the hell out without any issues. How come we failed?
Mm-hmm.
And they were certainly there at least 20 years too. Same thing. But, yeah. Oh well.
If they really wanted to turn that country upside down and bring the control back to the Afghan people, they could have done it.
Sure, they could have. Yeah. But I don't know.
But you can't use those style of weapons. You use those style of weapons, whether they're sonar bombs or, which are worse than nuclear bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it would be more of a media campaign than a military campaign.
Yeah.
And who in Afghanistan is going to trust Americans?
Nobody. No, I think our allies are not happy with us either because we left them there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of our allies that are sitting in
Sitting
harm's
ducks.
way.
Well, at the same time, our allies have backed out of their own agreements with the U.S. during this whole thing.
It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward and what's going to happen on the 31st. If anything's going to happen on 9/11.
You've said that on many occasions in the last few days.
Only
You're
reason why I
concerned
said
about
that
9/11
because they wanted them out of there before 9/11.
Okay.
Why did they want them out of there? Why are they holding this August 31st date? So, that's it. That's the deadline.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that? Why don't they say, okay, we'll give you a few more days? What's the big deal about that?
I don't know.
They
Maybe
got something in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's no reason why they couldn't allow them to have an extra 5 days. What is it? You want them out of there before it's work? And plus the 9/11 people, they don't want Biden there. They don't want them participating in any of the 9/11 ceremonies. They don't want them.
Did you see that video with the plane that was trying to leave or whatever, and people were hanging from it.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Okay, that was I really think that was fake.
You think so?
I don't think that was even real. If you watch the video, see those turbine engines when they're rolling like that, they would have sucked people right
they're
in.
giant vacuums.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
would have sucked those people, and now people were right in front of them.
Yeah,
And none of them.
It would have sucked them right in. Yeah.
But nothing. And you see people running basically in front of those engines, and they're fine.
Yeah.
That's why I think that was not real.
Yeah. And those planes are gigantic.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, those are big.
Yep.
Mhm.
And they fly out of Westover.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, if you ever up in Massachusetts, sometimes you're driving down the highway in Massachusetts, you'll see the damn things take off over there. Yeah, Westover Air Force Base. Yeah,
And I don't think any country is below releasing some sort of propaganda video.
Oh yeah,
because God knows we've never done that.
Oh God,
yeah,
no.
Yeah, I'm sure.
To make it look like
Yeah.
How many Americans now feel incredible sorrow for women and children in Afghanistan because of some of the videos that they have shown, are those real?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the Taliban saying they're going to give women back their rights and all this other stuff. I don't believe a word they say. It's unfortunate that the way they do treat women over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I just feel sorry for them.
The fact is that there have been wars and disagreements in the Middle East between various countries for so many years.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we thought we were going to go and fix that. It's like like the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
That's been a 2,000-year war.
Right. Well, it's been a
The
2,000
Israelis and the Palestinians.
religious war.
Exactly.
And that's the whole thing with Afghanistan. We want to go over there and we want to save the women and children, but that's their society. Who are we to say what's right and wrong in somebody else's society?
Right.
That is the problem.
If they want to have all their women wearing burqas or whatever, that's their society. It's their right to choose, and it's based upon their religious beliefs. So who are we to say, that we should go in there and say, oh, no, take off those clothes. You don't need to put those clothes on. Oh, no. You can go to work. You can go to school. No, it's not our right to do that. Is it immoral according to our beliefs, but is it immoral according to their beliefs?
It's a sad day. It's a very sad day.
Let me read this for you. Laura says, I try and listen to news reports to stay involved in what's going on in the world, and it can be very overwhelming and upsetting to see and hear. I am one of the ones that believe that a lot of what you see on national news is fabrication.
Yep.
They've been doing it for longer than you realize.
Oh, a long time.
Where it's almost programming.
Yeah.
It's almost programming. This is what they want you to believe about a certain country. For example, earlier, what did you say about Afghanistan?
Which time?
You talked about like the landscape and stuff like that.
I was saying that.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
I'm sorry.
country. I've seen pictures of it. It's a beautiful country.
Right.
Yeah.
See, now, me, when I think of Afghanistan, I just think of a war-torn, dusty,
Yeah.
kind
Buildings
of
and rubble and
dirt roads, in the middle of cities.
I mean,
and
they got beaches
barefoot,
over
dirty
there,
kids walking around picking things out of the garbage. And
yeah, because that's what they want us to see.
Right.
That's kind of what they they wanted us to see in Iraq.
Yeah.
They wanted us to see that, USA good, them bad.
Yeah. Well, that's what
We don't
started
really
this whole
know.
thing.
Huh?
That's what started this whole thing.
And I hate to say this, but it's really, really true. And disagree with me. Tell me if you disagree. We have a lot of businesses here in the United States run by Middle Eastern men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they get a bad rap because of where they're from.
right.
Because of how the media has portrayed this country. You know, there's one guy in town that he's of Indian descent. He wasn't born in India, but his parents were, but they're here too.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just the nicest guy. He's very smart.
Yeah.
You know, he makes very good points on things we talk about, and you know, and I enjoy talking to him. And he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a family man. There's nothing wrong. They're just people.
Well, it's like
they're stereotyped.
it's like people punching Chinese people in the face because they gave us COVID.
Right. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I don't know.
I think we're too quick to lump groups of people together.
Yeah.
I think so too. I don't know. I don't. I go into any of the, any like convenience stores is really, what, they're, you'll see the Indian folks or Pakistani, Syrians. The doctor I go to right now, she's where the hell is she from? Syria. And she's brilliant and she's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I trust her. And she's just I want to make extra appointments just to just to go see her. But she's
right.
But you take her out of that situation, take her out of where she works, and just have her walk in a city. What kind of ridicule do you think this woman's going to get?
Yeah. Well,
it's terrible.
How's that any different than a black person walking into Walmart and being followed all over the store by the security?
Yeah. Stereotyping. Yeah. It's
that's what I'm saying. We're too quick to lump people into groups.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there's only two kinds of people in the world:
Dumb and Dumber,
assholes, and those that aren't.
Yeah.
And each one has to be judged on their own merits.
That's true.
I think life is a lot easier than what I think. There's so much confusion,
mm-hmm.
And it's meant to confuse you,
right?
Like black people bad, white people good.
Yeah.
They talk about white privilege.
Mm-hmm.
They're damn right. There's a white privilege.
Yeah. All Chinese are good at math,
exactly, and photography.
Yeah,
but it's not true.
You can't use stereotypes. It kills a society.
Well, T just said putting people in a stereotypical box is never good for anybody, and he's right. He's absolutely right. I was brought up in a house. My mother was, one of those. I love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is the same kind of thing, and that's how I grew up. And I feel blessed that I was, because I don't have any ill will towards anybody.
I mean, when I was a kid, we had friends that were, they were black kids, and I had played, they were no different than me and you.
No, I know.
Yeah, we all got along. We played baseball together, football. I mean, hung around together. There was no such thing as this.
Yeah, it's so much easier when you judge people on their own merits.
When I was 8 years old, we had my grandmother had died in upstate New York, so my dad was going to take a bus, and we had to go to Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
And drop him off of the bus, and he went up to my grandmother's funeral, who I hadn't seen since I was like 2. So but he went up by himself. So I'm 8 years old, and we're in Danielson, and we're driving home, and it's about 9-10 o'clock at night, and my mother, we're just talking about different races, and to me, I was like an 8-year-old, and she said to me, she goes, "Would you ever marry a black girl?" And I said, as an 8-year-old, I said, if I love her.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it.
And that's how I was brought up.
Yep.
So
I
think it's just sad. I feel bad for people that
being from the the East, the New England area, and this area down here, we never felt a difference between races or anything like that. Down south, don't forget, they grew up that way. Their parents that way. It was a generational type thing where they had, they felt blacks as second type citizens, and that was all in their culture, because that's the way it was, back then. I'm
You're
trouble.
destructo over there.
I'm stringing up, but I think that's the
You're
difference.
strung out, you mean?
Yeah, I think that's the difference. We never felt that way.
Well, I would agree and I would disagree with you.
Okay.
To say that the South is more dominant as far as stereotypical behavior is in itself a stereotypical response. Saying that the South is, I think it comes down to individuals. You can go down the South and you can meet the nicest people in the
They're
world.
nice. I'm gonna get me wrong.
Well, and you can meet a whole bunch of people that don't hold those stereotypical beliefs. I think it's an individual basis. You have to look at each person individually. I don't want to sit down with a quote unquote black person, or I want to sit down with a person and have a conversation, and then I can judge that person on their own merits. If somebody sits and screams at me, screams in my face, I don't really care what color they are, what sexual orientation they are. If they're yelling in my face, they're an asshole.
T goes, ha ha ha. Chris, thank you, Chris. I was thinking the same thing.
You were not.
But I agree with you.
That's right.
Hey, suck it up to the
Yeah, he just wants me to pay him more.
I agree 100% with you.
Yeah.
And I think some people, when you say that, you're scrutinized. Yeah. Even to the point where they're thinking, well, you're just saying that.
Right.
Like, no, I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
I have friends that are white. I have friends that are black. I have friends that are Middle Eastern, Iraqi, Iranian.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have friends from all sorts. I don't think I know anybody from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Syria, actually, my doctor is a sweetheart.
I'll tell you one thing I personally feel that hurts this whole
Egypt.
That hurts this whole situation is people that live those stereotypes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys got to remember that I'm 20 years older than you guys, so I seen what happened in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
How it's not around here, but the riots and the things that happened those days.
Oh yeah.
Which is the reason why I feel that what I said.
Mm-hmm.
You're older than I am, so it's 20 years later. So I mean, younger than I am, so that's why I feel why I said what I said.
Oh, and I agree with you.
Yeah. So
here's my friend Roxy. I haven't heard from her in a while. And she says, I volunteered in the inner city school marching band. We get off the bus to get ready for a competition. Adults and their children were saying, you blacks can get your dark. Well, this is hate. Ooh. Back on the bus and go back where you came from. It was heartbreaking. That would be heartbreaking.
It is.
yeah. Is that today or is that years ago?
No. Well, yeah, Roxanne, how long ago was that?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt if it was today.
Really?
I think stereotypes and people who perpetuate stereotypes are just as popular today as they were 20, 50, 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very, very true. I honestly think I agree with Chris, because if you think about it, Chris is a little older than me and you're a little older than Chris. So between the three of us, we come from not really three different generations, maybe a generation and a half, but there's a pretty wide spectrum of time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a defining moment in my life.
2 years ago, she said, by the way.
2 years ago? Wow.
Yeah.
That's awful.
I was dating a girl in, I think it was high school. And I went to meet her parents for the first time, and her grandmother threw me out of the house because I had red hair, and red hair is a sign of the devil.
Well, in your case, they were right.
Well, yeah. But just that depression that left on me, to be vilified for something that I have no control over, the color of my hair.
Yeah.
You can't do that. To me, she was an asshole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's very, very sad. You almost want to know they want to blow the shit up and do over.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get a do over.
No, I don't think so. I don't like that. I don't like the when people talk about other people, based on their gossip can be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But not when it's based on race or religious creed or anything like that.
Yeah.
politics, race, and religion. Those stay away from it.
Yep.
But unfortunately, they keep bringing it up because they know what makes people react.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, ever since the news media was turned into a for-profit organization, they've done nothing but.
Yeah, I think they're the cause of a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's sells newspapers,
Right?
And they're right up front, so they're right in people's faces.
Or it gets eyes on their product, or whatever.
Yeah,
because they're selling ads.
But
that's really what it is.
I think people are getting sick of it. I mean, I think a lot of these major news they're going down the tubes. I mean, let's face it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really listens to CNN anymore. MSNBC, I hear, was not doing very well.
I don't watch. I can't tell you the last time I watched.
Yeah.
One of the news organizations. The only ones that I pay attention to is probably Reuters.
Yeah.
They're pretty much right down the middle. And Laura just said that she listens and pays attention to NPR. I've heard a lot of stuff from the left on NPR.
Yeah.
And whatever. That's just but Reuters, if you, I don't feel that they weigh each side. And the other one I told you many times, Al Jazeera.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they're Middle Eastern, even though they're in Denver. I mean,
wouldn't that be?
It's like Toyota. It's the best. It's the best Japanese car made in Georgia.
Wouldn't Denver be more Middle Western than Middle Eastern?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Well,
but they've won best news organization many times for their news reporting.
Yeah, and it's generally on most cable and satellite stations.
Yeah,
it's available
because what sells? Look at Fox News now. It's there's not a lot of news. It's a lot of news magazines. Tucker Carlson
it's all talk type stuff.
Yeah.
But it's all based on division.
Yeah,
it's all based on dividing the country. You have
exactly.
Just like the vaccine is all about. It's about dividing whether you're going to take the vaccine or you're not going to take the vaccine.
Yep.
If you don't, well, then you're a thug or you're whatever. But if you do, right on.
No, if you do, then you're being puppeteered by the man.
Right, or you're a sheep.
Yeah.
Or something. So
that's what's happening at UConn right now. Anybody who's not vaccinated, they got to show that they got a test. They're going to be in a special dorm. They got to be checked out. Or you got to get a shot.
Now, this is not to say about, but let me ask you this, Paul, and you this, Chris, just because you are older and you've been to school in earlier years before me.
Yeah.
Was it the same thing going to school in certain grades? I think it was like fourth grade, especially, where you had to have certain vaccines.
Yes.
And you're saying no.
Not that I can't.
Okay.
Remember.
No,
you're saying
I
yes.
can remember the schools telling my mom, you have to take him get his chickenpox vaccine
or mumps
or
yeah. That happened, I know, with me, and I can remember a couple of instances when my mother said, "Okay, well, the doctor's going to be at school today. You're going to see the doctor." So and it happened there like every other year, once because of a shot, or because of a physical.
Right.
And you didn't know which one because I didn't want a shot. And not because I was worried about what they were jacking in my arm, because it hurt.
I mean, I can't remember them ever asking me even.
They wouldn't ask you, they asked your mother.
No, because when I went to high school, I don't remember going for a physical before I went to high school.
I can remember getting physicals at school.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you go
turn
to
your
the
head
nurse.
and cough.
Yeah, you go to the nurse. Yeah, they wouldn't
No,
do
I
that.
mean lining us all up and
Physical.
feeding
I
us in like
remember
sheep.
Maybe.
Next.
Maybe.
Turn your head, cough, the whole bit.
No, never.
I know.
And I was in high school I started high school in '57. So.
Oh, we had a shot record.
Yeah,
we had a shot record. Yeah. Paul, I'm sure you did, because it was mandatory.
The shots we had were, the last shot probably would have been polio.
Okay.
That was probably the last one.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But where were all the anti-vaxxers then? My point is that, and trust me, guys, this is your choice is your choice. I don't look either way. But back in the 70s, especially, you had to get shots, to go to school or to do certain things, or whether it was a pneumonia shot or a flu shot or whatever. You had to have it. I remember 10 years ago, there was a big push on flu shots. You had to have the flu shot. If you didn't,
right,
then you couldn't do this, that, or the other thing, including employment. It's the same thing. It's the same thing right now. And I guess I don't know where the change of thought came from, has gone.
I think one of the real deciding factors on that was side effects. Not side effects that happen the day after you get the shot or the 2 weeks after you get the shot. The side effects that happen 20 years after you got the shot.
Okay.
10 years after you got the shot, did kids start developing Down syndrome? Or newborns develop Down syndrome, because of the shots. Yeah. I don't think it was, well, you got to get the shot today. Well, okay, because you didn't know what the side effects were. Yeah. Chicken pox.
You're right.
Chris, and not being personal, but what about autism?
Exactly. And that's what I'm getting at. Chicken pox is my perfect example. People got chicken pox vaccines back then because they said the vaccine works. Okay. Nobody talked about the side effects. Now, the people that got the chicken pox vaccine back in the 50s, 60s, 70s have all developed shingles. And they say it on the advertisement. If you got the chicken pox vaccine, there's a chance that you might develop shingles.
I had shingles last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought anybody who had chickenpox had not just this vaccine, but if you had chickenpox, my understanding you had the case of getting the shingles.
Right.
Yeah. See, I was very lucky. I never got the chickenpox. I just happened to not get them for some reason. Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, if somebody in the neighborhood got chickenpox,
everybody got them.
All the parents would bring their kids over to visit so that they would get the chickenpox and be done with it.
Yeah. I think measles, German measles, those were all the big things back in my early childhood days.
Tor seems to think it's the internet.
The internet.
They
That's
were around
he's a
back then,
millennial.
but the problem is that the internet coming around, everyone has access. Everyone can make their own opinion known if their opinion is stupid. I think exactly what he's talking about there is that your opinion is easily accessible, and you can broadcast your opinion a hell of a lot easier than you could have 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So I agree. I think if that's where he's going.
Well, I think he's also saying that after 10 minutes, anybody can be an expert on the subject.
Yeah. Because what do people use the internet for a lot? Ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get an answer. So
right. Yeah. And who's giving him that answer?
The guy that's selling you the vaccine.
Exactly. So the bottom line is, I think in this whole thing is that you have the right to your own opinion, your own thoughts, and nobody should tell you your whatever. It's your thoughts, your personal feelings, and you have a right to that.
Do your own research, make your own choices.
Yeah. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. You're just a person to me. It's the way I was brought up with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I really could give a shit, about anything else. It's like you could be freaking plaid, Paul. I could care. Yeah.
He is plaid. This is makeup.
You should see him after the beach.
He looks like a Scottish kilt underneath all his makeup.
All right, that's it for today. We're going to get out of here. Thank you very much for joining us. A rather opinionated kind of
upside down.
And so we started it upside down, but we got right side up in a hurry. So thank you very much for joining in, everyone. We appreciate your time. We will be back Monday morning once again, and we'll rock to his house a little bit. Paul, you'll be back Monday, right?
Yeah.
All right. Have a good day, everyone. We will see you Monday. Stay safe.
We'll look at your local weather forecast on SNSN. There's a heat advisory in effect today until 8 p.m. tonight. The reason why, temps going to reach about 91 degrees, but with the heat index values, it'll be close to 100 degrees. We may even see a shower or a thunderstorm later on this afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be mostly sunny. For tonight, a 30% chance of showers and maybe a thunderstorm. Mostly cloudy, temps around 66 degrees, and then a partly cloudy day on Saturday with maybe a shower or thunderstorm. Temps around 77.
The home of Griswold Wolverine.